Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for checking back in. For those of you who are new, my name's Dave with Diversity Print, and today we're going to go over how to reprime a refillable cartridge. Okay, so I brought in a couple examples here. So the yellow is the easiest to see, at least on screen, hopefully. And so as you can see on this cartridge, you have several chambers in this cartridge. Over here on this side, on the back side, you have chambers in there, but these are mainly vent chambers or vent hole chambers. You really don't need to worry about these here. The main channels, or the main channels that you want to worry about is this one right here, and this is what's going to prevent your cartridge from working. Doesn't matter if this entire cartridge here is full with ink. If there is air in here or it's completely empty, it is not going to work. Okay, because this vent right here on the back side you can't see. It actually goes down to the port, the exit port. So right now, that chamber right here that you can see where my finger is at, it is about 99% full. There is like a little bit of air in there, but we are still good. It'll still work. And as you can see, we're kind of getting really low down here. And so all the cartridges are pretty much at this level, but they have this amount of air. Okay. Unfortunately, the black cartridge didn't make it. It completely went out, and as soon as this goes all the way down, it starts taking from this last little chamber right here, and this is what actually creates that vacuum in there, and it pulls that ink down. So once this little chamber is done, you're gonna have to reprime it. Okay, and it also happened on the cyan. Now I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is completely empty. I mean, you may see a little bit of darkness down here, but it's empty. And this chamber right here, it's completely empty. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need a syringe so that you can fill the cartridge with ink. You're going to need I should have got plastic little Dixie cups. Hopefully they don't start leaking. But you're going to need your ink, and I would put them in a Dixie cup, probably a plastic Dixie cup or a little glass bowl or something like that. And then you're going to need a syringe. I'm not sure what the millimeters are, but the inner diameter is 1/16 of an inch. The outer diameter is 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and so this will go to where your fill plug is. And this is how we're going to create that negative pressure and fill that little chamber up. Okay. Now, what you'll also need to do is you'll need to hold or plug up this exit port. Now, you can do it with your finger, you know, or put something over it, but you need to make sure when we're starting to draw a negative pressure out of here, there's a little spring in there. So whenever you put this cartridge in the printer, that little spring goes up. So if I'm creating a negative pressure, if I'm pulling in, this little spring can actually open up, you know, and you can kind of create a mess. So what we're going to use today is a fill plug or an exit plug. It's a stainless steel little piece here, and we're going to put that at the bottom just like that. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to get our syringe and fill it up with ink. We're going to take our fill plug and put it at the back and close up the vent hole. Okay, so we're going to move it from the vent, or from the fill to the vent hole, this little plug right here. All right, so when you fill this up, you want to fill it up about 3/4 of the way, as long as you go above this little chamber right here where we're going to put that negative pressure and fill it up. Alright, so this is probably going to take a whole lot of ink. Alright, so we'll want to tilt it to where the air goes all the way to this fill hole. We don't want to tilt it this way. We want to kind of tilt it to where all the air comes to where the fill hole is. And just go about 75%. Okay, that's all we're going to do right now. So now at this point, we're going to put our repriming syringe. Remember, it's got a 1/16 inch hole inner diameter and about a 1/8 inch outer diameter. So what we're going to do there is we're going to push down. It's going to be just like this. Remember, have your finger held right here, or put a an exit port plug, which is like a stainless steel piece of metal plug. Alright, so I'm going to try and get it to where you can see it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on this this piece right here and pull up on the plunger and let it go down and push that air in, and you'll see hopefully the ink fill that chamber. Okay, so we'll go up just like that. I'm holding it and then push down. So I'm not sure if you saw that on screen, okay, and it filled that little chamber all the way up. If you still have a little bit left, you can do it again, up and then down, okay, and it'll fill that little chamber up. And this is our main chamber that we're worried about. And so you can't really see, but I still got a little bit of air right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more ink and I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way. Okay, so I have a little bit of air here on the top. Remember, you have to put this plug back into here, so don't fill it up all the way, or it may, it may pour over. Always watch out for the printed piece right here. Don't get ink on it or anything like that. I'm like holding the green part, or putting my finger on this green part up here. But be careful with the little circuitry right there. If you get no ink back here, there's no worries. There's no benefit to it. If you do get ink, then you do get ink, but there's no benefit to these. These are just the vent holes back here. So next we'll just take our fill plug. Let's clean the top off a little bit. And we can actually pop that piece out. And put the plug back into the fill hole, okay? You want that covered up. And now we're good to go. So I should have went light to dark. So you may ask, how am I going to clean this now to go to my next color? Well, you can go light to dark. You can go yellow, light magenta, magenta, light cyan, cyan, and then black. So you can go through all the colors using the same reprime. But if you don't, then I would probably clean it after each one. The same thing with a needle. You can use one for all the colors as long as you're going light to dark. If you don't feel comfortable with that, grab you a new syringe. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and clean this one out, because I am going to go to cyan, which is a lighter color. So I don't want to make that cyan any darker than what it already is. Okay, so if you want to sit there and watch it a second time, we'll go ahead and do the cyan, because the cyan is exactly the same. Alright, so here we go. First steps, we'll go ahead and put this fill plug or the exit plug in there. Take our fill plug, put it into the vent hole. We're going to get a lot of ink because this thing is empty. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and carefully insert it. Start putting in the cyan. And 10 mLs was perfect for a dried out cartridge. Got a little messy on top. Just clean that up. So as you can see, as I tilt it, I have a pretty good pocket right here. So that was about 10 mLs of ink. But as long as we're over this chamber, because I'm about to create a negative pressure and fill this cavity right here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my repriming syringe. Get it in there nice and secure. Make sure I have my exit port, or put a finger or something over it just to prevent air from going in from that side. And all I'm going to do is hold the plunger handles here and push up or pull up, get some air in there, and push it back in. You can do it a second time if you want. Get some air in there and push it back in. So hopefully these darker colors you're able to see. Now it's pretty good and filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that off, and I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way. And I'm just going to fill it up, probably about a little more than 3/4. I want to just leave a little bit of gap. Hopefully you can see that, because I am going to put this plug back in there, and that does take up a little bit of space. Just going to clean the top a little bit. So now I'm going to take the plug out, put it back into the fill hole, and then pop out my steel exit plug, or you can just take your finger off the plug or whatever. And so that is it. That's how you reprime a refillable cartridge. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe, ding that little bell, leave a comment if you have any questions about this process. Hopefully I can explain it a little bit better, or maybe I missed something. So yeah, until then, I hope you're having a good day printing, and we'll catch you on the next one.